Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and I want to say, first off, right off the bat, sorry I've been away for so long. I've had a lot of things going on in life, all good things, but just things that make me super, super busy. I've posted about it a little bit, but I got a new job, graduated for my bachelor's degree, moved, like changed where I'm living. It's been a whole thing, so I've been super busy, but we're going to get back on track with content, and I thought let's have a little fun on our way back in, get some DK specials going on, and have some fun with Slaking EX, which has the Born to Slack ability, which is kind of good but kind of bad, where if your opponent has no Pokemon EX or V Pokemon in play, this Pokemon can't attack. But that doesn't really matter right now because we aren't really all that worried about it. Overall, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Almost every single deck has EX or V Pokemon in it, so we'll be able to bypass that pretty well. We also have 340 HP, which means even with a Stadium up, Pikachu doesn't one-shot us, which is pretty good. We do also play the Pidgeot EX because we're playing Stage 2s and Pidgeot is super strong. So we're going to be playing the Grand Tree just to be able to bypass all that kind of stuff. But we also do have our Farfetch'd, and Farfetch'd is a really interesting card to have in this deck because it has the ability Impromptu Carrier, where when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, during your turn you can search your deck for a Pokemon tool card and attach it to this Pokemon and then shuffle your deck. This becomes really good because what you're able to do is not only use the match cut attack, which will knock out Badoo, and it can also discard special energies from your opponent if your opponent is playing like Draco or something and they have a double turbo. But it also is really nice because it allows you to search your deck and grab yourself your TM Evolution and always get that set up pretty quickly. So that's always good in that regard. So it's actually a pretty nice card to have. We do play a copy of Black Belt's Training along with a copy of Kieran, so that way we're always able to one-shot Draco if we have to with the Great Swing. And then since we do need to discard an energy from this Pokemon, we're able to use the Boomerang energies because once it's discarded, by the effect of an attack used, which will happen with Slaking, it'll just put itself back on. We can combo that with a Counter Gain since we may get behind early, and then from there we're really just attacking with one energy and doing massive damage, so it works out really well. We do play 2 copies of Boss's Orders to make sure that we're getting the knockouts that we want to make sure we're getting, and then we're also playing the Colress Tenacity as well, to make sure that we're getting our stadiums and also our boomerang energies or our jet energy if we need it. We also do have a copy of mist energy as well. This is just in case because right now we're seeing a lot more Raging Bolt, or not Raging Bolt, Roaring Moon. But yeah, so we're seeing that. But yeah, that's going to be it for the deck list. So I just want to give a special shout out to the channel members. As always, thank you so much for that additional level of support. Really does go a long way. It means a lot, so thank you so much for that. And then for everybody else, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Also, I'm in a brand new recording space, and I'm not really sure how the audio is going to sound, so be sure to let me know how it sounds and if I need to make any adjustments with the new space. Not really fully set up in here, so there might be like a minor echo potentially. I'm really not sure yet. And so yeah, just let me know and I will let you, or give me that feedback and then I will adjust it later. But that being said, let's get into game 1 in a second and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1. Our opponent's going to be going first. We'd prefer to go first with this deck. We are going to mulligan here, but our opponent is as well, so not all that big a deal. But like I said, we prefer to go first. We are going to have to mulligan again. We do see the Draco Bolt, so not terrible for us. Draco Bolt's actually a pretty decent matchup since we're able to absorb an attack, but also one-shot them back pretty reliably. We get the Fez, though obviously we'd prefer to be going first, so that way we can get our Pokemon set up and then go into the Colress right away. But that's okay. If we need a turn or so, it's fine. One of the other things that makes Slaking pretty good is that you don't have to worry about Grand Tree, since Grand Tree typically, like, you don't want to give it to your opponent because they're a lot, like, it enables them to be able to get out their pieces faster. But in this case, it's totally fine because you need them to have those pieces in order for Slaking to be able to attack in the first place. There's a Badoo. See an Ultra Ball right off the bat for Draco. We do have our Artazon, though obviously we'd love to top deck like a Buddy Poffin. There it is. So we'll go Fan into Pidgey. Use Fan Call. Grab ourselves this. And I guess we'll just grab ourselves a second Sloth. Yeah, I guess I'm fine with that. Well, then what I'll do is I'm gonna go Farfetch'd down. Use that to grab myself the TM. Go Colress. Use Colress to grab myself Jet Energy and a Grand Tree. Jet Energy, the Farfetch'd. And then I can go Evolution. Get myself one of these. Get myself my Pidgeotto. And then on the next turn, what I'll be able to do is, if they knock out the Farfetch'd, that's fine. I'll just retreat it. Or, sorry, if they knock out the Farfetch'd, that's fine. I get to bring in my Vigoroth. I would love to have gone into Pidgeotto there. Obviously, losing the Grand Tree is slightly annoying. But we do have both of our stages. So, in this case, that works out great because we just get to evolve right into Slaking EX. And then we can even go for an Iono of our own. If they attempt to retreat and go for the Badoo, we can just start attacking with the Farfetch'd. If they knock it out, then we get to go for our Fezandipiti, or we get to go for the Fezandipiti play. So we'll bring that in. Where we also get our Arven. We'll go flip the script. We do get a Boomerang Energy. So we can attach the Boomerang Energy. Go ahead and grab ourselves the Counter Gain, as well as, I think we'll just grab a switch. Go Ultra Ball, get rid of this and this. Grab ourselves Pidgeot. Evolve the Pidgeot. Place this down. This should work, no? Oh, right, our opponent doesn't have any. I'm getting defeated by my own. Here, we'll grab this. I'm being defeated by my own ability currently. That's a mistake on my part. But not a big one. Alright, yep. There's the Draco EX. I'll be able to one-shot that. They have Fezandipiti down, so I'll be able to just keep attacking. Get rid of the Brock Scouting. So we made a minor, minor misplay, but one that's not really that big of a deal because we had to have this happen regardless. Interesting that they didn't put the damage onto this. I guess it would have been a 2-shot regardless, so it doesn't really matter. We'll go switch for now. I'll put the Mist Energy. And then I'll go Quick Search. And the main thing... I want that for next turn. I'll grab the Grand Tree. Place that down. Go Grand Tree onto the Slaking. So that way that's created. Just so that way I have a backup. I can go Black Belt's Training. Going for the Great Swing. Get rid of the Boomerang Energy. And go from there. Grab 2 prizes. And then from here, I have not only the Jet Energy to move Slaking EX into the active, I do have ways to get into boss, so that way I'm able to just start bossing up the Latias. I will boss up the Fezandipiti on the next play. And there's a Nest Ball for a Dreepy, but again, I'm not really worried about any of that. In comes Brock's Scouting. Where, I mean, unless they have Rare Candy, it literally makes no difference. But even then, I can just drop Iono. Pollen comes in. Which, again, I'm not worried about. We can go Quick Search. Grab ourselves a copy of Boss's Orders. Go Boss's Orders. Pull up the Fez. Go Great Swing. Get the Knockout. Get rid of the Boomerang Energy. Grab that right back. Grab 2 prizes. And then on our next turn, even if they make Draco Pult, it doesn't really matter, because if they attack in, we survive, and then we just boss up the Latias EX. But we see that's not going to be the case. So, minor misplay on our part earlier, but not one that actually matters. We'll go Quick Search for our last copy of Boss's Orders. Go Boss, pull up the Latias, go Great Swing, take the Knockout, discard our Boomerang Energy, get rid of that, and grab ourselves our last 2 prizes. And yeah, it's going to be pretty easy. We're going to go into game number 2 in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2, and our opponent won the coin flip, so they're going to be going first. But that's fine. We got ourselves our Rotom Fan. We'll see what we're able to top deck and what we're able to do. We won't be able to get an attack off if we don't have the energy that we need, though. So that sucks a little bit. One other change I did make in between games, by the way, is I took out the Kieran and just replaced it with a Black Belt's Training. So now there's 2 Black Belt's Training. I just thought I'd mention that. I figured that it's actually better to have, so I made that change. We see a Buddy Poffin come out. This is actually going to be a pretty good matchup for us if we're able to get into our pieces, though our opening hand is, you know, a little suboptimal. If we can top deck a Jet Energy, that would be super sweet. Or, I mean, if we top deck like Iono, that would be nice too. I wouldn't complain about that. Let's see what we get. Okay, well, you know, look at that. So, Farfetch'd, not in our deck. That sucks. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. Well, Buddy Poffin. We'll leave it. I guess it's fine. Can't really do anything. Had we drawn into a stadium or something, that would have been okay. Farfetch'd not being in our deck definitely does hurt us, though. So we have to hope our Rotom Fan doesn't get knocked out here. This is going to be the main thing. We can play another one, just to kind of soak hits for us. But I feel like we really need an Iono here. The main thing is, had we had Farfetch'd, that would have been great, because we would have been able to get... Yeah, this sucks. At least our opponent didn't get anything off either. We could boss the Reshiram, but I don't really want to do that. The card art for that's pretty cool. But we'll see. I really want to get into an Iono, or if I can top deck Grand Tree, that would be great. If I can top deck Grand Tree, that would be very nice, especially if they knock out my Rotom Fan. But they're going Evo, so that's not going to be the case. They are getting themselves set up way faster than me, but that is what it is. We get a Boomerang Energy. I'm just going to have to play that onto this and call it a day. But with an energy down, again, if we get Grand Tree, then we will be able to start attacking. They do have a whole bunch of Reshirams, or sorry, a whole bunch of Zoroarch. So once we make a copy of Slaking, we'll be in a great position, but we really need to get that going. If we top deck Ultra Ball, that would work as well. And Arven would work. What else could we use? There's a couple different things, so we do have options, and we don't have to worry about the Sloth that we have on the bench getting knocked out unless they go boss's orders. Okay, honestly, the Iono is totally fine with us. Okay, that works. Because we get the Ultra Ball, we can get rid of the Pidgeotto in hand. And honestly, we can get rid of the Ursaluna, because we can always Night Stretcher that later on. I want to hold on to the Mist Energy. We'll be able to go Pidgeot into Grand Tree. Alright, so we'll go Ultra Ball here, we'll get rid of this and this. I just want to make sure we actually have Grand Tree. We do. Alright, yeah. So we can make that, place this down, place this, go Quick Search, find ourselves the Grand Tree down, find ourselves the Vigoroth, and the Slaking EX. And then from there, we'll go Mist Energy down, and Great Swing. And like that, we're in a wonderful position. Because they have double Zoroarch as well. So we have everything we need to... Like, we have all the knockouts available. Yeah, they're just going to go ahead and concede. Alright, we'll do one more game, just because that one was a little slow. Obviously, there was definitely room for them to beat us if they went for the... If they went for the Doromaka setups earlier, then we would have been in a little bit of a tough position, but that worked out for us. They misplayed in that early setup, but we got unlucky in the fact that we didn't have access to the Farfetch'd, because if we did, we could have gone play Farfetch'd down. That would have got us the TM Evo, Jet Energy to the active, use that, get ourselves set up, and then we would have been in like a fine position from where we were. But yeah, I mean, it worked out in the end. But that's one of the power of like Slaking right now, is like a lot of people are using Zoroarch EX as a draw supporter or just playing the deck. And so Slaking not only is a card that Zoroarch can't really deal with, but we one-shot it in return. One of the other things too, when we saw it in game 1, is that just there's so many support style EXs. So whether that's Latios, whether that's Pidgeot, whether that's Zoroarch, whether that's whatever the case may be, Fezandipiti, it's like Slaking just bullies all of those cards, and so decks that need them to kind of function just get completely rocked. And I think a lot of people aren't really expecting Slaking right now. But yeah, we'll do one more game just because that one was short, and I'll see you guys in game number 3 in a second. Peace. All right, we're into game number 1, and we're game number 3 rather, sorry, and we're going to be going first. We open our Rotom Fan. We do have Ultra Ball Rare Candy. We do have a Pidgeot, Pidgey available. We have our Rotom Fan enabled, or what is happening to me today? This is what happens when you're just chronically tired. But we'll see what our opponent's playing. I feel like enough time has passed now on the ladder that we won't just run into the poison package every game. And that seems to be the case so far. We'll Rotom Fan in order to search out a Pidgey or 2 Sloths and probably like an extra Pidgey. Or if we top deck Jet Energy, we could do something. Oh, it is partially the poison package. Just another TM Evo, so a little disappointing. Would have really liked an energy there. I'm gonna grab the Farfetch'd for later though. And pass. Because I can go Ultra Ball for Rare Candy, Pidgeot, make that, find myself Iono after a Vigoroth play, which is what I might do. With maybe attaching 1 TM Evo to the Rotom Fan. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, because they just went double knocked out of hand. Going Ultra Ball. I'm curious because they have the Noctowls, so I'm not sure why they're also playing Pecharunt. It's an odd way to play the poison package. I feel like you just want a hard commit to your other options, but I mean, what's nice is potentially off the Iono, we could get ourselves... That's more annoying. The main thing now is that we'll need energy. We're not going to have anything that we could actually use the... We're not going to have anything to like actually be able to attack with. Is going to be our biggest issue because we can't use Slaking. We get ourselves Colress. We'll go Grand Tree, Mist Energy. This is going to be the play for now. Play that down. Go Grand Tree. I guess we'll just make ourselves the Slaking, since that's something we can just throw in the active and soak up damage for a little bit if we need to. And then from here, what I'll do is go Ultra Ball, get rid of this and this. Actually, I'll keep that around. I can get rid of that. Use that to grab myself another Pidgey. Because I already have the Grand Tree, so can use that on a future turn. And then I can go Assault Landing, which is enough to take out the Pecharunt, so it stops pressure. And then I have Ultra Ball, so I can get myself a Pidgeot, which is another card that I can actually use to attack with if I have to. We see a Buddy Poffin. In comes Minior. Oh wait, Minior's ability only works from hand. Crispin. For Dark Energy, I don't understand what their deck is. They just go Assault Landing. This is potentially fine. If we can top deck an energy, we'll be in a great spot. Unfortunately, we get training. So we'll make ourselves Pidgeot here. I think is going to be the play. Because if we can get... Yeah, we'll go Arven here, because if we can get ourselves into an energy, then we'll be able to go Counter Gain onto the Pidgeot EX, start attacking with that, and that's going to be like our play here. So we'll go Ultra Ball, we can get rid of this, grab ourselves Fezandipiti, play that down, go flip the script, where we get ourselves the Counter Gain but not the energy. So at this point we go Arven, use that to get ourselves Counter Catcher and a gain. We'll go counter, pull this up, and pass. This one's gonna be rough because their deck is kind of bad, but at the same time there's not much we can really do. Oh, okay, that actually works really well. There's the Noctowl. This would have been a much more annoying game if they didn't play that. Now we actually have route to go into Slaking. And like we have the Counter Gain available and stuff like that too. Even with the stadium up, they're not going to be able to one-shot Pidgeot. Yeah, there's the area 0. That's fine with us. See Nest Ball. Latias EX on the bench is even better. They really needed to play around doing either the Pecharunt package or like using Rotom Fan to the best of their ability to get attacks off. Because now they enabled the Slaking, and that's going to make the game a lot easier for us. There's a Noctowl. They still need a way to switch this, which means we're actually going to be able to knock out the Brute Bonnet. Unless they get really lucky off the... Oh, wait a minute. They have Latias. I don't know why I'm saying that. They still need more Pokemon down before they can knock out Pidgeot. I believe. I could be wrong. But I think I'm right. In comes the Toxic Powder. They still need an energy onto the Terapagos as well. They go Rotom Fan just to stack a little bit more damage. I mean, that's a smart play. But it's one that doesn't really affect us all that much. The fact that we get the Boomerang energy off the top deck there is really nice because it allows us to go Counter Gain here. We can retreat, bring this in. Go Quick Search. Quick Search for a copy of Boss's Orders. We'll evolve here. Go Boss's Orders. We can pull this up. Go ahead and Giant Swing. Knock this out. We'll be able to just get the Boomerang energy back. We'll take 2 prizes. We also get rid of the Terra, so their board becomes a little bit more annoying for them to have to deal with. Again, the smarter play for them would be to get rid of the Latios here instead, and just try to work off the Rotom Fan play. Because as long as Latios is here, I just need to find a special energy from my deck, which I can just find with Pidgeot, like right away. Ooh, I didn't realize how high my retreat cost is. Is this gonna one-shot me? Let's see. How much more does it do? It's 20 for each, so 20, 40, 60, 80, 160, plus 40. Oh, plus the extra poison. Research. I don't think this one-shots me. Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think it does. I get the Colress, so if I top decked in energy, I'm gonna go ahead and play this just to mitigate some poison damage. I have an option here of taking the single prize because I want to have access to Counter Gain. So yeah. Can go Boomerang energy here. Quick search for a switch. Actually. Yeah, I can just do it like this. I'm playing this so bad. What is it? I need to go to bed. We'll make this. We can let this get KO'd. Is pretty much going to be the plan. And then I can boss up the Terapagos. And then from there, they won't have a way to one-shot my Slaking. And my Counter Gain will always be active. There's the Grab Tackle. No, the play is pretty much just to Iono them. We'll bring in the Pidgeot. Okay, perfect. We get to go Jet Energy. We'll drop the Iono. Just to be disruptive. We can go flip the script. We get ourselves a Rare Candy as well. We'll quick search. Find ourselves a copy of Ursaluna. And then from here we can go Great Swing. Knock out the Minior. Discard the energy. Get that back. Knock that out. We're now to 2 prizes apiece. And with 2 cards, they should not have a way to really deal with us. And then we can always go Pidgeot to search out a our last boss's orders. Arven will not be able to help them. They played this game kind of poorly, but I don't think it would have mattered all that much if they didn't play like anything down, like if they didn't play the Tropicos or the Latios or anything like that. I don't think it would have mattered, because then we would just have used Pidgeot as our main attacker, which would be able to one-shot everything. So yeah, I don't think it would have made much of a difference. We see Secret Box here. They already played a supporter for the turn. I don't know if there's anything they can get that will bail them out here. Because like I said, they already played their supporter for the turn. Yeah, I don't know. We played this pretty poorly. I'm like very tired. I'm definitely going to go take a nap after this game. But I feel like they played worse. Potentially. Because, like, I don't know. It would have been on us to adapt and start using the Pidgeots in order to attack with, and like Ursaluna and stuff like that as the game went later. What did they grab? Yeah, they didn't get them anything that would like actually impact us either. Alright, we draw that. Now we can go ahead and quick search. Find ourselves our last boss's orders. Drop boss. Pull this up. Go ahead and Great Swing. And discard the Boomerang Energy to get our last prize cards. I feel like once you have Slaking set up, it's so busted. Like, this card's just so strong. But yeah, that's going to be game number 3. We'll get into the rating in a second. My play definitely wasn't the best there. It was on them. The Minior tech is interesting. It's not bad at all. I think for other Tropicoses and stuff like that you're up against, that can be pretty interesting. For sure, like the Mirror, I think is a good call. But yeah, I don't know. They definitely needed to play around the poison package more and not play like the Latios down. Once they did that, it just enables my Slaking, and there's really no way that they're going to be able to get over that. They just don't do enough damage, and Slaking one-shots everything, so it's super, super strong. But at the same time, I think if we adapted correctly and we were just playing around Pidgeot better and playing around like our own Fan Rotom and stuff like that, I don't think their poison package would have been enough to win anyway. So I'm really not sure, but that would have been an interesting way to play that game out. But yeah, we'll get into the rating in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. When going into the rating for Slaking EX, I think this deck is a ton of fun and actually really strong. It's kind of underrated in my opinion. For fun, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Who doesn't love playing with the big boy, playing with the big apes, getting real strong? The real question is, how many men would it take to beat one Slaking is the question. and I think it's too many. There would not be enough. Going into the power, it's a 5 out of 5 for sure. Right now, Charizard's not in the meta conversations at all, and that's really good for Slaking EX, because with Black Belt's training, you hit 320, which is exactly what you need to knock out Draco, but you'd be 10 damage short of knocking out Charizard. So with Charizard kind of out of the meta, you don't have to worry about things like Max Belt or other tools, so you're able to just play the Slaking down and be really, really powerful off the rip. Your health is super high. You could even choose in some cases if you wanted to play cards to help buff your HP stat. So like if you wanted to play Hero's Cape instead, you could do that and then make it so Draco Bolt has to two-shot you, which is pretty much a doomed matchup for them, but I feel like that's kind of too much for one matchup, so it's better to just play it with Grand Tree. But yeah, I just figured I'd mention that. For consistency, I'd put it at a 4 out of 5. Unless you prize stuff really badly or you just get unlucky, you're able to get into your Slaking very, very consistently with this deck. You're playing the 4 Colress, you have the Grand Tree, you're playing Pidgeot, you have Rare Candy, you have Arven, you have TM Evo, you have the Farfetch'd to guarantee your TM Evo, you have your Rotom fans. It's very, very consistent. There's some issues with prizing, or like if you just get a little unlucky, so I am going to make it a 4 out of 5, but I think it's really good. Your matchups are also very good. Your Gardevoir matchup's great because you can boss up and one-shot the Gardevoir if you have to, but also your HP is so high that it's really difficult for your opponent's Pokemon to KO you, and then also they need Gardevoir EX on the field in order for them to be able to get attacks off and do anything, so your Slaking's ability doesn't really matter. So it works out really well in that regard. One of the other things too is like Draco, same thing. You're able to one-shot it, and like it needs to be on the field for that deck to function. And that's kind of the state we're in right now. A lot of decks need Squawkabilly on the board, or if you're up against something like a Duraludon or whatever, like these decks need those cards on the board in order to be relevant. And so you're super strong that way, and decks that don't have those still need things like Fezandipiti to you know, improve consistency, Squawkabilly, Latios, all these kind of things that once they're there, Slaking just becomes super strong. One of the other things too is that Slaking is going to get even better in the upcoming set. So this is a card I would recommend investing in early rather than later. I know I'm going to pick myself up a couple copies. I think Slaking's a ton of fun, so I know that I'll be playing it. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the deck and what you would want to see next on the channel. It's good to be back, so I'm going to be doing a lot more recording soon. So yeah, be sure to let me know what you want to see and what you thought of the deck list and stuff like that, as well as my audio, because I don't know how it's going to be in the new recording space. But yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.